Hello, my dear children. How are you? Hope you will be paying attention to your studies very well because the exams are drawing nearer and nearer. So please attend to your studies sincerely. Today I am back with you with another chapter from Vistas. This time we'll be doing part 1 of The Enemy by Pearl S. Buck. And before I start, let me tell you something about Prep Life. Prep Life NEET, IIT, JEE is a digital platform which improves your skills to crack exams like NEET, AIIMS, IITG, NET. My dear students, you can watch our videos to get useful tips and highly interactive session related to NEET, IITG, mathematics, chemistry, biology and physics. So please stay tuned with us. Do like, share and also subscribe our channel to receive notification regarding latest videos. So here are the links, my dear children, on your screens. We are available on YouTube, Telegram, Facebook, and Instagram. You can contact us on any of these platforms. And now, before I start with the lesson, let me introduce you to the writer of this beautiful piece of writing. It's a novelty, not a short story. Paul S. Buck. Paul Sidney Stricker Buck was born on June 26, 1892, and she died on March 6, 1973. Also known by her Chinese name, Sai Zhenzhu, Chinese, Sai Zhenzhu. She was an American writer and novelist. As the daughter of a missionaries, Bach spent most of her life before 1934 in Zhenjiang, China. Her novel Good Earth, The Good Earth, was the best-selling fiction book in the United States in 1931 and 32, and she won the Pulitzer Prize in 1932, and in 1938 she was awarded the Nobel Prize in Literature for her rich and truly epic descriptions of peasant life in China and for her biographical masterpieces. She was the first American woman to win the Nobel Prize for Literature. After returning to the United States in 1935, she continued writing prolifically, became a prominent advocate of the rights of the women and minority groups. She wrote widely on Chinese and Asian cultures, becoming particularly well known for her efforts on behalf of Asian and mixed race adoptions. Present is the text is also intonated in the background of the present text is also Japanese. The time of this novel is the time of the World War. An American prisoner of war is washed ashore in a dying state and is found at the doorstep of a Japanese doctor. Should he save him as a doctor or hand him over to the army as a patriot? The story is set during the Second World War. A Japanese doctor finds an American prisoner of war at his doorsteps. He is in a dilemma that being a doctor, should he save the wounded man, or being a Japanese, should he hand over the enemy to the army? Let us now read about the summary of this lesson. Before I start paraphrasing in Hindi, let me tell you a short summary. Enemy is a story written by Perk Sidney Straker Buck. It is about a Japanese surgeon, Sadao. He went to study in America and meets a Japanese girl, Hana, there. He marries her and brings her back to Japan to settle down. This was the time of the World War II. Thus, all the doctors were called upon to save the Japanese army. However, they allowed Sadao to stay back. It was because he was standing the old journal who was on his deathbed. However, one night, an incident changes his life. He encounters an American Navy man who is injured by a gunshot and dying. Although Sadao was in no mood to help the enemy, he takes the young soldier and provides him with medical assistance. He keeps him at his house to avoid any danger coming his way. However, he knew he has opened doors to danger by helping the enemy. His servants decide to leave Sadao too. As the days passing, as the days kept passing, the soldier was now beginning to gain his health back. Now that the soldier was no longer Sadao's patient, he decides to kill him off in his sleep. He informs the journal of the American and thus the journal reciprocates. They decide to send private assassins to kill the American soldier. While waiting for the assassins, Sadao starts noticing it was delaying. However, during this course, humanity in Sadao arises. He realizes that he is a human being. At the end of the day, he now recognizes the value of human life as well as universal brotherhood. Thus, this opens his mind, which was limited to race boundaries and wars. Finally, he comes to the conclusion that the army soldier is not his enemy just because he belongs to another country. Thus, he rises above his prejudices and does the right thing by helping the American soldier escape, thus saving his life. To sum up, the enemy summary will learn how love and compassion can make us better human beings as opposed to prejudices and biases against other people with whom we do not share anything but the bond of being humans. So, dear children, I hope you must have got a background of the lesson now. Shall I start with the explanation part of it? Okay, here it is. Dr. Sadao's Hoki's house was built on a spot on the Japanese coast where, as a little boy, he has often played. The low, square stone house was set upon rocks, well below the narrow beach that was outlined with bent pines. As a boy, Sadao had climbed the pines, supporting himself on his bare feet, as he had seen men to do in the South Seas when they climbed for coconuts. His father has taken him often to the island of those seas, and never he had failed to say to the little brave boy at his side, "Those islands yonder, yonder means they are at some distance in the direction pointed at. They are stepping stones to the future of Japan. And where shall we step from them?" Sadao had asked seriously. "Who knows?" the father had answered. "Who can limit our future? It depends upon what we make it." So, writer now introduces the main character of the story, Dr. Sadao Hoke. Dr. Sadao's house was situated on the coast of Japan, and वही था उसका घर जब बचपन से ही यही घर था उसका द घर का हाइट छोटी थी पत्थरों का बना हुआ था ये एक रॉकी बीच पे बना था ये उसकी बाउंड्री लाइन जो थी was made up of the pine trees and they were tilted towards one side. सीधे नहीं थे, झुके हुए थे एक तरफ. जब सदाव बच्चे थे तो वो इन पाइन ट्रीज पे चढ़ा करते थे. और जब कभी भी वो साउथ सदर्न सीज में जा की तरफ जाते थे, वो देखते थे आज लोगों को ऐसा करते हुए, कोकोनट उतारने वालों को कोकोनट ट्रीज पे क्लाइंब करते हुए. वो अपने बाप के साथ उन आइलैंड पे जाते थे, साउथ सीज के ऑफन, and his father would point towards the islands and would say that those were the stepping stones towards the future of Japan. सदा क्वेश्चन पूछते थे बचपने में कि that where we would they reach from those islands, कहाँ से उन पे हम पहुंचेंगे. His father would reply that it was not known as it depended on the future, and the future has no limits, and the future has no limit. It depended on the mankind how he shaped the future, how he shaped the future. Mankind पे depend करता है. It depends upon the mankind. Sada was taken this into his mind and he did everything his father said. His father never joked or played with him, but who spent infinite pains upon him who was his only son. Sadav knew that his education was his father's chief concern. For this reason, he had been sent at 22 to America to learn all that could be learned of surgery and medicine. He had come back at 30, and before his father died, he had seen Sadao become famous not only as a surgeon but as a scientist. Because he was perfecting a discovery what would render wounds entirely clean. He had not been sent abroad with the drops. Also, he knew there was some slight danger that the old general might need an operation for a condition for which he was now being treated medically, and for this possibility, Sadao was being kept in Japan. Sadao ने अपने दिमाग में बिठा ली थी ये चीजें, जो कुछ भी उसके फादर ने कहा था उसे बाप पिताजी ने. और उसके पिताजी ने उसे कभी भी कोई जोक नहीं किया था, उसे खेले नहीं थे, पर उन्होंने उसकी पढ़ाई के लिए अनगिनत दुख झेले थे क्योंकि वो उनका अकेला बेटा था. सदैव जानते थे कि उसकी पढ़ाई ही उसके फादर का मेन कंसर्न है, उसकी इच्छा है, और इसी वजह से उसे जब वो 22 साल का हुआ थे उन्हें अमेरिका भेज दिया गया मेडिकल से पढ़ाई करने के लिए, सर्जरी सीखने के लिए, मेडिसिन सीखने के लिए. जब 30 साल की उम्र में वो हुए, 8 साल के बाद वो वापस आए, और इससे वो अपने पिताजी के जीवन में ही सदाव बहुत फेमस हो गए, ना केवल एज ए सर्जन, ना केवल एज ए सर्जन, पर एक साइंटिस्ट के रूप में भी. बाप को बहुत तसल्ली हुई कि मेरा बेटा इतना बड़ा सर्जन बन गया है, इतना बड़ा साइंटिस्ट बन गया है, और वो अपनी आंखों से देख के गए थे, क्योंकि वो ऐसी डिस्कवरी कर रहे थे जिससे कि घाव बहुत जल्दी ठीक हो जाए, साफ हो जाए. वो बाहर भी नहीं भेजे गए थे, अब्रॉड भी नहीं भेजे गए थे फौजों के साथ, क्योंकि वो जानते थे कि वो जो बूढ़ा जनरल है उसे शायद किसी ऑपरेशन की जरूरत पड़े, क्योंकि उसका अभी वो मेडिकल ट्रीटमेंट कर रहे थे और वो इन डेंजरस कंडीशन में था, तो उसमें थोड़ा सा डेंजरस था, और इसी पॉसिबिलिटी के लिए सदाव को जापान में रख दिया गया था, बाकी डॉक्टरों को बाहर भेज दिया गया था. समझ आ रही है ना बेटा? बहुत बढ़िया है ये. Clouds were rising from the ocean now. The unexpected warmth of the past few days had at night drawn heavy fog from the cold waves, so the vast mists hide outlines of the little island near the shore, and then come creeping up. Creeping up means coming up. धीरे धीरे खिसकती हुई up the beach below the house, wreathing around the pines को घेरते हुए. And a few minutes, fog would be wrapped about the house to wrapped about, घेर लेगी, छा जाएगी. Then he would go and to the room where Hannah, his wife, would be waiting for him with the two children. अब राइटर ने डिस्क्राइब किया है, सदाओं के घर के बाहर का डे. उस दिन थोड़ा सा गर्म था, अनयूजुअली गर्म था, क्यों? और सी वेव्स जो थी वो ठंडी थी. सदाव देख रहे थे उस धुंध को, जिन्होंने उस छोटे से आइलैंड को, जो कि किनारे के नजदीक था, उनको उसको छुपा दिया था. और वो धीरे धीरे बीच की तरफ बढ़ रही थी. वो जो धुंध है घर के नीचे, पाइन्स को उसने घेर लिया था, और कुछ ही मिनटों में वो जो धुंध है उसके घर को पे भी छा जाएगी. तब वो अंदर जाएंगे अपने कमरे में, जहाँ उनकी बीवी हाना उनका इंतजार कर रही होगी अपने 2 बच्चों के साथ. But at this moment, the door opened up and she rocked out. And she looked out. A dark blue woolen. हावरी एक जापानीज को आपने डाले हुए देखा होता है, पीछे गांठ लगी होती है, वो गाउन सा, उसे हावरी कहते हैं. हावरी ओवर इज कमीनो जापानीज ड्रेस है, ट्रेडिशनल जापानीज ड्रेस होती है कमीनो. She came to him affectionately and put her arm through his as he stood, smiled and said nothing. He had met Hannah in America, but he had waited to fall in love with her until he was sure she was Japanese. His father would never have received her unless she had been pure in her race. He wondered often whom he would have married if he had not met Hannah, and by what luck he has found her in the most casual way, by chance, literally, at an American professor's house. The professor and his wife had been kind people, conscious to do something for their foreign students. And the students, though bored, had accepted this kindness. Sadao had often told Hannah how nearly he had not gone to Professor Harley's house that night. The rooms were so small, the food so bad, the professor's wife was so voluble. Voluble मतलब बहुत ऊंची बोलती थी, बहुत voluble थी, बहुत ऊंची बोलती थी. Talkative थी वो, बहुत ज्यादा voluble थी, talkative थी. But he had gone, and there he had found Hannah, a new student, and had felt he would love her if it were at all possible. उसी वक्त दरवाजा खुला और बाहर देखा उसने डार्क ब्लू वूलन हावरी गर्म कपड़ा अपनी कमीनो जापानीज ड्रेस के ऊपर डाला हुआ था. वो आई उनके पास बड़े प्यार के साथ, अपनी बाहें उनकी बाहों में डाली जैसे वो खड़े थे, हंसी, स्माइल किया, पर बोली कुछ नहीं. हाना से प्रोफेसर सदाओ अमेरिका में मिले थे, पर वो तब तक उन्होंने अपने प्यार का इजहार नहीं किया जब तक वो श्योर नहीं हो गए कि वो एक प्योर जापानीज गर्ल है, क्योंकि उसके फादर ने उसे कभी भी स्वीकार नहीं करते अनलेस वो प्योर जापानीज ना होती. तो वो इतने कट्टर, जापानीज लोग इतने कट्टर होते हैं. वो हमें कभी कभी बहुत वॉन्डर करते थे, हैरान होते थे कि वो किससे शादी करते हो अगर वो हाना से नहीं मिलते थे. और हाना उन्हें कैसे मिली? बाय लक मिल गई थी, उनकी किस्मत थी, बड़े कैजुअल वे में उन्हें मिली थी. और लिटरली अगर हम कहें तो बाई चांस मिल गई थी एक अमेरिकन प्रोफेसर के घर में. प्रोफेसर उसकी बीवी जो है वो हमेशा अपने फॉरेन स्टूडेंट्स के लिए कुछ ना कुछ करने को हमेशा उत्सुक रहते थे. और स्टूडेंट हालांकि बोर होते थे, पर वो जाते थे वहां को, उनके पास और कोई रास्ता नहीं था, उसकी उनकी दयालुता को एक्सेप्ट करते थे। सदाना ने कई दफा हाना को बताया था कि कैसे वो उस दिन उस रात को प्रोफेसर के घर जाना नहीं चाहते थे। क्यों नहीं जाना चाहते थे? एक तो उसके कमरे बहुत छोटे थे, खाना बहुत घटिया होता था, और प्रोफेसर की बीवी और शी वॉज नॉट बियरेबल, वो इतनी ज्यादा टॉकेटिव थी, इतनी बतूनी थी। पर वो वहां गए, और वहां उन्होंने हाना मिली, एक नई स्टूडेंट थी। और तभी उनके मन में विचार उठा था कि वो उसे प्यार करेंगे, अगर ये पॉसिबल हुआ तो, इफ इट विल बी पॉसिबल फॉर हिम, अगर ये इनके लिए पॉसिबल हुआ तो। मेरे बच्चों, तुम्हें शायद अब तक स्टोरी का समझ आ रही है, 100% आई एम श्योर समझ आ रही है। तो आगे बढ़ते हैं। Now he felt her hand on his arm and was aware of the pleasure it gave him. Even though they had been married years enough to have the two children, for they are not married headlessly, Rebecca, carelessly, headlessly, अंधाधुंध, एकदम बगैर किसी मकसद की शादी नहीं की थी. They had finished their work at school and come home to Japan. And when his father had seen her, the marriage had been arranged in the old Japanese way, although Sadao and Hana had talked everything over beforehand. They were perfectly happy. She laid her cheeks against his arm. अब उन्होंने अपना वो हाथ हना का हाथ महसूस किया अपनी बाजू पर, और उन्हें कितनी उससे खुशी मिल रही थी, कितने उनसे उन्हें प्यार मिल रहा था। हालांकि उनको शादी हुए बहुत साल हो गए थे, उनके 2 बच्चे भी थे, पर उन्होंने अंधाधुंध हेडलेसली केयरलेसली शादी नहीं की थी जब अमेरिका में, नहीं। क्यों? उन्होंने अपना काम खत्म किया, वो वहां अपना अपना पढ़ाई खत्म की, और वो जापान आए। और जब उनके पिताजी ने उसे देख लिया, जब तक वो संतुष्ट नहीं हुए तब तक शादी नहीं हुई, और उनके संतुष्ट होने के बाद पुराने जापानीज तरीके से उनकी शादी हुई थी, ओल्ड जापानीज वे। हालांकि सदाओ और राना ने सारी बातें पहले ही डिसाइड कर ली थी, और वो बहुत खुश थे आपस में एक दूसरे के साथ। अब उन्होंने अपना मुंह, अपनी चीक, अपनी गाल उसके बाजू पे रख दी थी आना ने। It was at this moment that both of them saw something black coming out of the mist. धुंध में से. It was a man. He was flung up out of the ocean. Flung up out of the ocean. वो ओशन से निकला था. As if he appeared black. Flung up. Flung. It seemed. ऐसा लगता था जैसे एकदम से निकल आया हो वहां से. आउटलाइन उसकी बॉडी से. It seemed to his feet by a breaker. He staggered unsteadily, वो लड़खड़ा के चल रहा था, a few steps, his body outlined against the mist, his arms above his head, बाजू सिर पे थे, then cold mist hid him again, तब वो दोबारा जो है मिस्ट में वो disappear हो गया. That moment they saw a figure appear out of the mist. It appeared black in color due to the mist. In the air, the outline of the man's body was visible in the mist. He walked unsteadily with his arms above his head. It was an indication that he was a prisoner. The man walked a few steps, staggered a few steps, walked unsteadily a few steps, and then disappeared in the mist. फिर वो गिर गया, फिर वो दोबारा गिर गया. What's that? Hannah cried. She dropped Sadao's arm, and they both leaned, bent forward over the railing of the veranda. Now they saw him again. दोबारा देखा उसे. The man was on his hands and knees, crawling. Then they saw him fall on his face and lie there. कौन है वो? Hannah चिल्लाई. उन्होंने सदाओ की आंख छोड़ दी. वो दोनों झुके रेलिंग पे वरांडा के. अब उन्होंने देखा उसे दोबारा. वो आदमी अपने हाथ और घुटनों के बल क्रॉल कर रहा था, रेंग रहा था. फिर उन्होंने देखा वो गिर गया अपने मुंह के बल और वहीं पड़ा रहा. A fisherman, perhaps, Sadao said, washed from his boat. He ran quickly down the steps, and behind him Hannah came, her wide sleeves flying. A mile or two away on either side there were fishing villages, but here was only the bare, lonely coast, dangerous with rocks. The surf beyond the beach was spike means covered with sharp pointed, बड़ी नुकीली चट्टानों के साथ. Rocks. Somehow the man has managed to come through them. He must have been badly torn. बुरी तरह जख्मी था वो. As the area had villages full of fishermen, Sadao said that probably it was a fisherman who had been washed off his boat. जो अपनी बोट से गिर गया. He ran to help him. Hannah followed him. The loose sleeves of Hannah flew as she ran. This part of the coast was not inhabited as it had dangerous rocks on it. यहाँ कोई आता नहीं था. Dangerous rocks थी. As the rocks were pointed, the man could have been badly injured, although he had managed to come through them. पर उसे बहुत ज्यादा चोटें लगी होंगी. They saw him. They saw when they came towards him that indeed it was so. There's the sand on one side of him and already a stain of red soaking through. Blood stains थे. Yes. देखा उन्होंने. जैसे वो उसके नजदीक आए, वो तब उन्होंने रियलाइज किया कि डेफिनेटली ये तो बहुत बैडली वुंडेड है, बैडली इंजर्ड है. वो एक तरफ की, जहां वो गिरा हुआ था उसके एक तरफ की जो रेत है वो उसके खून से लाल हो चुकी थी. यही इस बात की इंडिकेशन थी कि वो बैडली वुंडेड है. He is wounded, Sadao exclaimed. He made haste to the man who lay motionless, his face in the sand, and old cap stuck जमी हुई थी, soaked with seawater, gilly. He was in wet rags of garments, चीथड़े हुए थे उसके कपड़े. Sadao stopped. Hannah at its side and turned the man's head. They saw the face. A white man! Hannah whispered. सदाव ने कहा कि आज ये तो जख्मी है. वो गए उस आदमी के पास जो मोशनलेस पड़ा हुआ था. उसका चेहरा जो है रेत में दबा हुआ था. एक पुरानी कैप उसके सिर पे थी. वो सारी भीगी हुई थी समुद्र के पानी से. और ड्रेस जो थी उसकी वो भी गीली थी और फटी थी, रैग्स में थी. सदाओं ने उसे उल्टा उसके हेड को देखा. As they saw his face, Hannah spoke confidently that he was a white man. He was an American. He was an American. और अमेरिकन था तो उनका दुश्मन था क्योंकि लड़ाई थी. Yes, it was a white man. The wet cap fell away and there was his wet yellow hair, long as though for many weeks it had not been cut, and upon his young and tortured face was a rough yellow beard. He was unconscious and knew nothing that they did to him. हाँ, वो था बूढ़ा, वो था अमेरिकन. जैसे उसकी कैप गिरी उन्होंने देखा उसके गीले सुनहरी बाल जो काटे नहीं गए थे, लंबे हो चुके थे, जैसे बहुत समय से वो काटे नहीं गए. वो एक जवान बच्चा था. And his face has such marks which indicated that he had been tortured. उसे बहुत टॉर्चर किया गया, उसे बहुत दुख पहुंचाया गया है. He had a rough, unkempt, yellow colored beard. सुनहरी उसकी दाढ़ी थी. As he had fainted, बेहोश था वो. He didn't know the presence of सदाव और आना. उसे नहीं मालूम था कि उसके पास सदाव और आना है. Now Sadao remembered the wound, and with his expert fingers he began to search for it. Blood flowed freshly at his touch. On the right side of his lower back, Sadao saw that a gun wound had been reopened. The flesh was blackened with powder. Sometime not many days ago, the man had been shot and had not been tended. टेंडेड मतलब उसका इलाज नहीं किया गया. It was a bad chance that the rock had stuck the wound. The rock has stuck the wound. हाँ नजर अब सदाओं को याद आया कि वो आदमी जख्मी है और as he had seen blood stains on the and now what it is as he was a doctor he moved his trained fingers around the man's back to search for the wound. ढूंढा. Blood flowed freshly as he felt blood coming out of the wound in the lower part of his back. It was a gunshot. गोली लगने का एक जख्म था. बहुत दिन पहले थोड़े दिन पहले उसे उसे चोट लग उसे गोली मारी गई थी और उसे कोई मेडिकल हेल्प नहीं मिली थी जख्म को ठीक करने के लिए क्योंकि as he had himself used some black colored powder substance on it. The sharp rocks on the shore had उन्होंने दोबारा उस मूंड को खोल दिया था तो इस वजह से उसे खून बह रहा था. लग गई ना शॉप नुकीली चट्टाने दोबारा वूंड पे लगी. वूंड पे जो जमा हुआ था एक लेयर थी वो फिर उखड़ गई. दोबारा ब्लड बहना शुरू हो गया. Oh, how he is bleeding, Anna whispered. Again in solemn, serious, concerned voice. The mist screened them now completely, and at this time of the day, no one came by. The fishermen had gone home, and even the chance of beachcombers वो लोग होते हैं जो जब लोग बीच से चले जाते हैं तो फिर वो आते हैं और ढूंढते हैं लोगों की छूटी हुई सामान जो छूट गया, किसी के पैसे छूट गए, किसी का थैला छूट गया, किसी का और कुछ सामान छूट गया, वो उनसे उनकी लिविंग चलती है. उन्हें बीच कॉमर्स कहते हैं. अरे देखो, oh, Anna was concerned that the man was injured and she said in a low voice that he was bleeding. अब जो था mist has now intensified now. ज्यादा धुंध छा गई थी, उनको कवर कर लिया था और इस समय दिन के इधर कोई नहीं आता. मछुआरे अपने अपने घर जा चुके थे अपने और वो जो बीच कॉम्बर्स हैं वो भी उन्होंने भी ये सोच लिया था कि अब दिन का खात्मा हो गया. वो भी चले गए थे. What shall we do with this man? Sadao muttered. Mutter means he said with a low voice. Speak with a low voice. But his trained hands seemed of their own will to be doing what they could to stanch. Stanch का मतलब है to stop the flow of blood from a wound. The fearful bleeding. बंद करना. He packed the wound with the sea moss mask. Seaweeds जो होते हैं घास होती है that strewed the beach. Strewed मतलब scattered थी बीच पे फैली हुई थी. The man moved. चिरकराया वो पेन से. In his stopper. Stopper means in his state of unconsciousness. Stupor. State but it is awake. सदा अपने आप से बोले क्या करेंगे हम इस आदमी का. पर उसके जो ट्रेंड हाथ हैं वो जैसे अपनी मर्जी से काम कर रहे थे कि कैसे इस ये जो खतरनाक ब्लीडिंग है इसे बंद किया जाए. उन्होंने वूंड को पैक किया. सी मॉस टाई वूंड के ऊपर लगा दी. जो वो सी मॉस जो फैली हुई थी बीच पे वो आदमी कराया दर्द के साथ अपनी बेहोशी में ही. पर वो उठा नहीं, पर वो जागा नहीं, बेहोश था वो. कराया उसे दर्द हुई. The best thing that we could do would be put him back in the sea. Sadao said, आपने आपको जवाब दिया कि सबसे बढ़िया बात तो ये होगी इसे दोबारा हम समुद्र में डाल दें. Now that the bleeding had stopped for the moment, he stood up and dusted the sand from his hand. अब ब्लीडिंग बंद हो गई थी. वो खड़े हुए अपने हाथों से रेत झटकी. Yes, undoubtedly, that would be the best, Anna said steadily. Steadily means बड़े जोर के साथ. But she continued to stare down at the motionless man. If we sheltered a white man in our house, we should be arrested, and if we turned him over as a prisoner, he would certainly die, Sadao said. अब हाना ने बड़े जोर दे के कहा कि हाँ डेफिनेटली ये सबसे बढ़िया बात होगी, पर वो घूरती रही उस बेहोश आदमी को लगातार। और हाना सदाव ने कहा, अगर हम एक सफेद अमेरिकन को अपने घर में शरण देते हैं तो हमें लोग गिरफ्तार करके ला जाएंगे, और अगर हम इसे पुलिस के हवाले कर देते हैं एज ए प्रिजन एज ए कैदी, तो वो इसे मार देंगे। The kindest thing would be to put him back into the sea, Hannah said, but neither of them moved. कहते इसके लिए सबसे भले की बात ये होगी कि इसे दोबारा समुद्र में डाल, पर दोनों में से कोई मिला नहीं। They were staring at the curious repulsion upon the inert figure. Inert figure was motionless figure को. Both of them didn't move ahead, but rather they stared at the motionless figure with dislike, curious repulsion, घृणा के साथ. They disliked him because he was an enemy. He was an American. क्योंकि मन में उसे घृणा करते थे, पर क्योंकि वो डॉक्टर था, उसे मार नहीं पाया. उसे मार नहीं पाया. What is he? Hannah whispered. There is something about him that looks American, Sadav said. He took up the battered cap. Yes, there, almost gone was the faint lettering. A sailor, he said, from the American warship. He spelled it out, U.S. Navy. The man was a prisoner of war. क्यों कौन है ये? कौन है? What is the identity of this man? और सदाव ने कहा, मुझे लगता है कि ये अमेरिकन है. उसने वो फटी हुई, टूटी हुई, चिथड़े हुई कैप उठाई. हाँ, उस पर था एक फेंट लेटर लिखे हुए. हालांकि वो नजर नहीं आ रहे थे, फिर भी पढ़े जा रहे थे. उसने कहा, ये अमेरिकन वॉरशिप से भागा हुआ एक सेलर है, एक नाविक है. उसने पढ़ा, टोपी पे लिखा हुआ यूएस नेवी, और कहा ये आदमी तो युद्ध कैदी है, prisoner of war है. He had escaped, Hannah cried softly, and that is why he is wounded. अरे वो भाग गया होगा वहां से, softly कहा. इसी वजह से ये जो है इसे जख्मी हुआ है. In the back, Sadav agreed. कहा, पीठ पे इसे जख्म हुआ है. Yes. Sadav and Hannah discussed that the man had tried to escape from the prison and had been shot in the back. They hesitated, looked at each other. Then Hannah said with resolution. Resolution means determination. Come, are we able to put him back into the sea? I'm able, are you? No, Hannah said, but if you can't do it alone. वो थोड़ा हिचकिचाए. They were not able to gather the courage to throw him to the sea. पूछा उसने, क्या हम इसे दोबारा समुद्र में डाल सकेंगे? सदाव ने पूछा, अगर मैं ना एबल हूं इस बात के लिए, क्या तुम तैयार हो? मैंने कहा नहीं, अकेले अगर तुम चाहो करो. सदाव हेजिटेटेड अगेन. सदाव फिर हिचकिचाए. Reluctant हुए. The strange thing is, he said, that if the man were whole, I could turn him over to the police without difficulty. I care nothing for him. He's my enemy. All Americans are my enemy. And he's only a common fellow. You see how foolish his face is. But since he is wounded, Sadav Hichkichai was reluctant of throwing the man into the sea. He reasoned that if that man was well, he would have handed him over to the police without any hesitation. बगैर हिचकिचाए मैं इसे पुलिस के हवाले कर देता अगर ये ठीक ठाक होता, अगर ये पूरा होता. He added that he was not concerned about the man, and कहते नहीं, मैं इसकी क्यों चिंता करूं, ये तो मेरा दुश्मन है. सारे अमेरिकन मेरे दुश्मन है. And he commented that it's an injured man was a common man, as his face looked as if he was a foolish person. He wanted to say that he was not bothered about the injured man, but is only concerned that was that he was wounded. बस वो जख्मी है, डॉक्टर था ना। पर मेरा कंसर्न इतना ही है कि वो you also cannot throw him back to the sea. Anna said, then there is only one thing to do. We must carry him into the house. कहते अब तुम भी उसे नहीं. If he couldn't throw him into the sea, then the second option is इसे घर में ले चलो. But the servants, Sadao inquired. Sadao was concerned that the servants would object as they would shelter an army. कहेंगे वो क्या है? We must simply tell them that we intend to give him to the police. Police. As indeed we must, Sadao. We must think of the children and your position. It would endanger us all if we didn't give this man over as a prisoner of war. Certainly, Sadao agreed. I wouldn't think of doing anything else. कहते but हम तो सिर्फ हम they Hannah said they would tell them that they had intended to hand him over to the police once he is recovered. ठीक हो जाए तो उन्होंने बताया कि उन्हें ये करना पड़ेगा क्योंकि हमें अपने बच्चों के बारे में सोचना भी है, तुम्हारी पोजीशन के बारे में भी सोचना है. अगर हम इसे एज ए प्रिजनर ऑफ वॉर हैंड ओवर नहीं करेंगे तो हमारी अपनी पोजीशन खतरे में आ जाएगी, हम सब खतरे में गिर जाएंगे. सलमा का बिल्कुल इसमें कोई शक नहीं, मैं सिवाय उसके और कुछ सोच भी नहीं सकता, सिवाय इसके और कुछ सोच भी नहीं सकता. यही एक ऑप्शन है मेरे पास. Thus agreed together, they lifted the man. He was very light, like a fowl that had been half starved for a long time until it is only feathers and skeleton. So his arms hanging, they carried him up the steps into the side door of the house. This door opened to a passage, and down the passage they carried the man towards an empty bedroom. ये जो था सरावा नाना ने उठाया उस इंजर्ड मैन को, घर में ले गए, बहुत हल्का था वो. द राइटर ने कंपेयर किया उसे कि उसका वजन तो एक मुर्गे के बराबर था, और वो कौन सा मुर्गा जिसे बहुत दिनों से दाना नहीं मिला था और उसकी बॉडी पे कोई फ्लैश नहीं था, वो तो सिर्फ चमड़ी और स्केल्टन रह गया था. और उसकी हाथ जो है, आर्म्स वर हैंगिंग, and the dono they carried him up the steps into the side door of the rooms. The door opened into a passage, and they went down the passage towards an empty bedroom. It had been the bedroom of Sadao's father. Sadao के पिताजी का bedroom था ये, and since his death it had not been used. They laid the man on the deeply matted floor. Deeply matted, बहुत बड़ी उसमें मैट लगी हुई थी, गद्दे लगे हुए थे. Everything here had been Japanese to please the old man, who would never in his home have sat on a chair or sleep in a foreign bed. जैपनीज लोग जो है बेटे वो जमीन पे सोते हैं, वो कभी भी बिस्तर पे, चारपाई पे या पलंग पे नहीं सोते हैं, वो नीचे जमीन पे सोते हैं. आप किसी भी जैपनीज बेडरूम में जाएंगे तो आपको बिस्तर बहुत बढ़िया एलोकेंटली, बहुत ही बढ़िया सजा हुआ होगा, नीचे मोटा गद्दे बिछे होंगे, पूरे कमरे में मैटिंग होगी, कलीन बिछे होंगे और मोटे गद्दे बिछे होंगे नीचे जमीन पर ही. Everything here had been Japanese to please the old man, who would never in his house sit on a chair or sleep in a foreign bed. Hana went to the wall cupboards, cupboard means almaria, and slid back a door and took out a soft quilt, rajai. She hesitated. The quilt was covered with flowered silk and the lining was pure white silk. Bedroom belonged to the Sadao's father और उसकी मौत के बाद इसे इस्तेमाल नहीं किया गया था. The injured man was laid on the thick mat on the floor. अब राइटर ने डिस्क्राइब किया रूम को. हर चीज रूम में जो थी वो जैपनीज स्टाइल से सजी हुई थी, क्योंकि सदाओ के पिता को फॉरेन चीजें पसंद नहीं थी. वो पूरी जिंदगी कभी अपने घर में कभी चेयर पर नहीं बैठे थे या कभी किसी पलंग पर नहीं सोए थे. हना गई, साइड में अलमारी को खोला और उसमें से एक बहुत ही सॉफ्ट सी रजाई निकाली. फिर वो हेजिटेट की, थोड़ा सा झिझकी, क्योंकि वो रजाई जो है उस पे फ्लावर फूलोदार सिल्क रेशम का कपड़ा चढ़ा था और उसकी लाइनिंग भी प्योर सफेद सिल्क की थी. He is so dirty, she murmured in distress, sadness. Yes, he had been he had better be washed. Sarah agreed. If you will fetch some hot water, I will wash him. अरे रजाई, क्योंकि बहुत बढ़िया रजाई थी, कहते इतना गंदा है ये. उसने बड़ी हैरान होके कहा, हाँ, हमें चाहिए इसे पहले साफ कर लेना, इसे वॉश कर लेना. अगर तुम थोड़ा पानी ले आओ, गर्म पानी, तो मैं इसे वॉश कर लूंगा. I can't bear for you to touch him, she said. We shall have to tell the servants he is here. I'll tell Yumi now. She can leave the children for a few minutes and she can wash him. कहते नहीं 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 नहीं, मैं नहीं, मैं पसंद नहीं करती. No 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 no. I never want that you should touch this man. नहीं, कभी नहीं. हमें अपने नौकरों को बताना पड़ेगा कि यहाँ है. मैं अभी जाके यूमी को कहती, यूमी उनकी आया थी बच्चों की, वो बच्चों को थोड़ी देर के लिए छोड़ देगी और उसे धो देगी, इसे साफ कर देगी, वो इसे साफ कर देगी, धो देगी इसे. Sadao considered a moment. Let it be so, he agreed. You tell Yumi and I tell the others. But the utter pallor of the man's unconscious face moved him first to stoop and feel his pulse. Utter pallor, unhealthy, pale appearance. To stoop, झुकना, bent forward and pulse, उसकी नब्ज देखी. It was faint, but it was there. He put his hand against the man's cold breast. The heart was yet alive. He will die unless he is operated on, Sadao said, considering. The question is whether he will not die anyway. Anna cried out in fear. Don't try to save him. What if he should die? If he should live? सदाव ने कुछ देर छोड़ा, फिर वह हैना से वो सोचा, फिर वो हैना से एग्री कर गए. उसने कहा कि आप हाँ यूनमी को बुलाइए, इतनी देर में मैं बाकी सर्वेंट्स को बताता हूँ. इससे पहले कि वो बाहर जाते वो गए, उन्होंने देखा उस जख्मी आदमी का चेहरा इतना पीला था कि वो जैसे मौत हो उसके चेहरे पे. वो झुके, उसकी पल्स देखी, थी अभी, हालांकि फेंट थी पर थी. फिर उन्होंने उसकी छाती पे हाथ रखा, हाँ, दिल भी धड़क रहा था. और उन्होंने कहा, सोच के कहा, कमेंटेड कि ये अगर इसका ऑपरेशन नहीं हुआ तो ये आदमी मर जाएगा. और फिर साथ ये भी कहा, इवन इफ ही वाज ऑपरेटेड अपॉन एंड सेव्ड, ही वुड डाई एट द हैंड्स ऑफ द जापानीज आर्मी. क्वेश्चन ये है कि क्या वो नहीं मरेगा किसी भी तरीके से. सो ईदर वे ही इज टू डाई. Hannah cried out in fear. No, don't try to save him. What if he should live? Huh? She screamed in fear and asked Hannah not to save not to save this man. She feared that if he lived, they would be in danger. They would be in danger. What if he should die? Sadao replied. He stood gazing down the motionless man. This man must have extraordinary vitality, or he would have been dead by now. Energy, life. कहता अगर ये मरेगा तब क्या होगा, तब क्या कर लेंगे हम, क्या कर लेंगे हम. Saraf questions that what would be the implication if the man died. And he looked down towards the injured man and wondered that he had got a lot of energy, which has kept him alive through such a torture. He countered. He countered. He countered his thought with the fact that the man was very young. But then he was very young, perhaps not even 25. अभी तो 25 साल 20 साल का भी नहीं हुआ. You mean died from operation? Anna asked him that did he mean that man will die during the operation? Sadao confirmed his. Yes. उसने कहा हाँ, बिल्कुल मर जाएगा. Anna considered this doubtfully. And when she didn't answer, Sadao turned away. At any rate, something must be done with him, he said, and first he must be washed. He went quickly out of the room, and Hannah came behind him. She didn't wish to be left alone with the white man. He was the first she had seen since she left America, and now he seemed to have nothing to do with those whom she had known there. Here he was her enemy, a menace, a danger, a threat, living or dead. Hannah was pondering over this possibility that as she was taking time to reply, Saddam left. He said that something had to be done with the injured man, irrespective of the result. चाहे नतीजा कुछ भी हो, कुछ तो करना पड़ेगा और सबसे पहले इसे साफ करना पड़ेगा. वो गए बाहर रूम से. आना उनके पीछे पीछे आई. वो नहीं अकेला रहना चाहती थी उस सफेद आदमी के साथ कमरे में, नहीं. वो जब से उसने अमेरिका छोड़ा था, ये पहला सफेद आदमी था जिसे उसने देखा था. और now he seemed to have nothing to do with those whom she had known there. And since she had left America, he was the first white man she had seen. She had no contact with Americans whom she had met as they were her enemies. उसके दुश्मन थे वो लोग. Here was He was her enemy, a menace. ये उनके लिए एक खतरा था, एक डेंजर थी, एक थ्रेट था, उनका दुश्मन था, चाहे वो जिंदा रहे, चाहे वो मर जाए. My dear children, here I would like to start and the first part of this lesson. I hope you must have enjoyed it. I hope you must have. अब कहानी की समझ आ रही होगी आपको, कहानी अच्छी लग रही होगी. बड़ी जल्दी मैं दूसरे पार्ट के साथ वापिस आऊंगा आपके पास. स्टिल देन, तब तक आप पहला पार्ट अच्छी तरह रिमेंबर करके रखिए, भूलिएगा मत, क्योंकि लिंक बनाना है आगे सेकेंड पार्ट के साथ. टिल वी मीट अगेन, थैंक यू वेरी मच. एंड माय डियर चिल्ड्रन, डू लाइक एंड शेयर आवर वीडियोस. प्लीज डोंट फॉरगेट टू लाइक एंड शेयर आवर वीडियोस. And do not forget to subscribe our channel and press the bell icon. My dear children, please do press the bell icon. So till we meet again, bye from my side. See you again. Bye.
इस वीडियो को लास्ट तक देखने के लिए थैंक यू. अगर आपको वीडियो पसंद आया है तो इसे लाइक और शेयर करें. सब्सक्राइब करना बिल्कुल न भूलें. अगर आपको कोई डाउट है तो कमेंट सेक्शन में उसे लिखें. हम जल्दी ही उसका रिप्लाई देंगे.